Good evening, everyone. I come to you yet again with another video. Only this time, um, there's more than one question, and they're all from the same person. Um, I had sent a bajillion, divided by probably a trillion, messages to a certain somebody who shall remain nameless until the end of the video. Uh, Asking random questions. So in return, she then asked me several different questions for me to kind of do the same thing. I will apologize beforehand for the possible length of this video. I am not a video making guru. So just like my unshaven face, it will be rough and uncut. So let's move along with the questions so that it's not taking too long. Number one, favorite Doctor Who episode, and you are allowed to pick one per Doctor if you want. Brr. Favorite Doctor Who episode. Well, I like, with 9, I liked Rose because that was the first ever episode of Doctor Who that I ever really watched, and it was just really neat to just kind of get into the series, and I think, that's a really good place to start if you're a new Whovian or if you're interested. That's one episode that if you're really interested in watching the series, I feel go ahead and go for it. Tennant, just in the whole gamut of Tennant episodes, I would have to say that I have to go with Blink. Blink was really good, even though, and a fellow Tumblr follower and a guy that I work with, he and I talk about this all the time, and the funny thing about Blink is that not very much Doctor action, but it's one of those really cool episodes where you just, once again, if you aren't involved in the story and you want to get into it or just to get an idea as to what the show is all about, Blink is probably one of the best episodes to watch to just get that idea of, okay, sometimes it's creepy, sometimes it's friggin' hilarious, and then there's just that wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff going on. So there's a little bit of everything in that, and it's just great. And as far as 11, who I would have to say The Doctor's Wife. I'm a big Neil Gaiman fan, and having read several of his books and watching that episode, leave it to him to put the soul of the TARDIS into an actual human body. If you've never read any of his books, Neverwhere, American Gods, Stardust, great stuff, and his stuff is completely different. Each thing is completely different, so depending on what your tastes are, go for it. Alright, number 2. Least favorite Who episode, the same rule applies. Pick one per Doctor if you want. My least favorite 9 episode would have to be The Unquiet Dead. Mainly because it didn't grab me like the first 2 episodes did, and at the same time, it took me probably about 3 or 4 times to actually get into it, to really watch it all the way through. And also, it just did, like I said, it just didn't hold my interest. The only thing that I thought was really cool about it was when they made the reference in Journey's End to Gwen from Torchwood being related to Gwyneth, who ends up being the vessel or the go-between between the Gelth and the humans. But yeah, that The Unquiet Dead is my least favorite 9 episode. My least favorite 10 episode would have to be unequivocally Fear Her. Now, I know a lot of people absolutely love this episode, but I cannot stand it. And it is actually one of those episodes where I try to find redeeming qualities about it, and there are just so few. I don't like Chloe. I don't like the girl who plays Chloe. They really set up the whole father drawing on the wall angle, and they really didn't go anywhere with it. I'm sure several people out there are going to disagree with me on that, but, you have this just drawing of, I'm a monster, and then you don't really. I mean, I can understand you don't see anything, but I'm coming to get you. Nah. So, so Fear Her is one of my absolute least favorite episodes of the series. Period. Um, and 11, a Matt Smith episode that I didn't necessarily care for. Um, hmm, that's interesting. Wow, I can't think of one. Mainly because one, I'm really tired, and two, I just can't think of one. Um, I, unlike many people, have really, really enjoyed Series 6, so, there are a few episodes, but I found something redeeming out of every one of them. As far as Series 5 goes, um, maybe The Beast Below, and, that's probably just because, you know, it's, yeah, it's one of my least favorite episodes. So, uh, so that's it. I mean, I liked The Beast Below. It had the really cool music at the beginning of the episode, but I like the whole Star Whale thing. But if I had to choose, that would probably not be one of my like. Oh, I need to watch this, as opposed to like The Doctor's Wife or The Lodger. So, yeah. All right, number 3. If you could be successful in any job, what would you do? I would probably. Oh, that's a good question. If I could be successful in any job, what would I do? I would probably go with the one that I'm working toward right now, which is the whole writing thing. Um, my senior year of high school, I didn't know what I would want to be when I grew up, and it occurred to me that I don't really want to don't want to get into computers and this and that and the other. Many people have said that they think I would make a really good teacher, which I've actually tried to go against because for the longest time, my father and I never got along, and he, in fact, is himself a teacher. So, but I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree because I picked up a few tricks of his, and it works at where I'm working now. But I would actually, if I could be successful, I would love to just be a writer and just kind of follow in the footsteps of Gaiman and Pratchett and Sedaris and Adams, and I'm looking at my bookshelf trying to think of other people, but it's just basically anybody that I read. I would like to be as successful as them and as popular. All right. Number 4, what are your top 5 favorite TV shows? Well, number 1, Doctor Who. Duh. I've really gotten into Eureka. In fact, Henry and Jack are my OTP. Just saying. For a third one, I have to go with Smallville. Yes, I'm one of those who absolutely loved the show. I watched it for all 10 seasons, and though I was a little disappointed in the finale, it was still kind of cool to just see a computer graphitized. I don't care if that's not a word. A CGI Superman. Just to see the suit. I mean, the beginning of the 10th season, and you see the suit in the Fortress of Solitude, and I was like, yee! Number 4. God. What's a show that I'm currently watching? Looking at my bookcase again, though it doesn't really have Community. Absolutely love Community, and I'm looking forward to seeing John Goodman in his role as Vice Dean or whatever. And number 5, even though I haven't really watched as much as I should, I'm gonna have to say Thundercats. I watched it when I was a kid. I had all the action figures, and the fact that they rebooted it as well as have released the classic figures. Yeah, I'm 5 years old once again, and the new show is actually kind of cool. It's almost like if you watch the old show, the new show is kind of a retelling, but it's also as if this story takes place generations after the original series. It's really neat, but trying to wrap your head around that, just watch the show. It's really cool. So yeah, those are my 5: Doctor Who, Eureka, and whatever else I said. I don't care. But all right, number 5. How did you get into Doctor Who? Well, I actually posted a video about this last week, and it ran like 11 minutes long. But basically, I got into Doctor Who through my stepbrother Mark. He's 41 this year, and he grew up watching the Tom Baker era, and we were watching the Family Guy Blue Harvest episode, and during the hyperspace scene, when Peter makes the comment that hyperspace always looks weird, then they cut to the shot where you're looking out of the Falcon's cockpit, and instead of actually like hyperspace, you see the dong 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 dong, and then you see Tom Baker's face, and woo woo. So there was that, and then he was like, you really love Doctor Who, and sure enough, I do. Going back to the first question, Rose was the first episode, and the show had me as soon as the opening credits started, where the TARDIS is going down the time vortex. So yeah, hey, anything dealing with time travel, and I'm hooked. So, and Doctor Who is just really cool. So those are my answers to the 5 questions that were sent by a very lovely Tumblrker, whose real name is Sierra, but her Tumblr name is 76 Totter's Lane, which apparently, if you flip it upside down and is apparently gives you the answer to life, the universe, and everything. But I don't see it. Maybe y'all do. But yeah, so that's my video, and hopefully I'll be posting this pretty soon, so that Miss Sierra can enjoy it. So hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to find this. There we go. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and if y'all have any questions, random questions, or questions about this video or why it sucks so much, I think I answered that before. I'm not a video guru, so you can save that one. Maybe think of another one. So, alright, that's about it, and I bid you adieu.